Durdle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Durdle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and Durdle with some magic. Hello everyone and welcome back to Durdle Magic. Today we're playing some more Zagras, Thief of Heartbeats. Looking at our opening hand, one land doesn't cut it, so let's go ahead and take that free mulligan. New hand. Two lands, no follow-up, and not black. Yeah, we're gonna have to take another mulligan. Sad face. Alright, new hand. Three lands. Unfortunately, we need red. And I just played a game where I got no red. That was really annoying. But I think we have to keep this. So what do we want to get rid of? I think we have to get rid of Chandra's Ignition. Let's go ahead and keep it. Put Chandra's Ignition on the bottom. And say we're done. So our commander, Zagras, Thief of Heartbeats, 4 black red for legendary 4/4 Vampire Rogue. It costs 1 less for each creature in our party. Flying, Death Touch, Haste. Other creatures we control have Death Touch, and whenever a creature we control deals combat damage to a Planeswalker, destroy that Planeswalker. I really like that. Coming to our turn, we get Jessica, Warrior Adept. Let's go ahead and play a Swamp, tap it down, and pass it off to our opponents. So the focus of this deck is on the ability here that says other creatures we control have Death Touch. So we have pingers in the deck, Kimono, Jessica, Volshock Sorcerer. We will need double red to cast those, and that is going to be problematic, it seems. I don't know why the deck has recently started hating me. There is more mountains and red sources in the deck than not, so I don't know what's going to be up with that. Temple of Deceit into play for our second opponent, but let's go in order and see our first opponent here, who is Sisay, Weatherlight Captain. 2 white for a legendary 2/2 Human Soldier. She gets 1/1 for each card among other legendary permanents you control, and for Wooburg, you can search your library for a legendary permanent card with a converted mana cost that is less than her power. Shuffle your library and put it onto the battlefield. Command Tower into play for our third opponent, but going in order, we have Anowon the Rune Thief. This is one of the rogues I was actually interested in building. So he's a 2 blue black for a legendary 2/4 Vampire Rogue. Other rogues they control get 1/1, and whenever one or more rogues you control deal combat damage to the player, that player mills a card for each 1 damage dealt to them. If the player mills at least 1 creature card this way, you draw a card. Nisian Wanderer into play for the Sisay player after a mountain drop. Rolls over at our turn, we get a Snow-Covered Swamp. Please give me red this time, deck. Please? Alright, Snow-Covered Swamp into play. Let's tap it down and just pass it off to our opponents. Speaking of opponents, our last opponent is Xenagos, God of Revels. 3 red, black for legendary 6/5, enchantment creature god, of course. Indestructible, devotion less than 7. He doesn't get up to party. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains +X/+X until end of turn, and haste, where X is the creature's power. Can be a very good, very aggressive deck, although I'm most interested in this game to see Anowon the Ruined Sage. Bitter Blossom coming down gives you a rogue on your upkeep for 1 life. That's going to be very good in that deck. Over to the Xenagos. A mountain into play, followed by Tunnel Ingus. Alright, that's not something I've seen terribly often. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to that player. Interesting, a little bit of landfall hate, I wager, or just ramping. Notably, it is also an elemental, so if you have Tamir Omnath and you care about elementals, there's that. Island into play, followed by Cultivate for Sisay, which we had some Cultivates in our colors, but I don't know, would that be broken? Don't know. I was just thinking the other day, if you want to power down your decks, you take out the tutors. And while we usually call these land searches, they are essentially tutors. So if you want to power down any part of your green deck, take out some of the land search. Tunnel Ingus is going to trigger. It's going to deal 3 damage to him. Yep, down to 37 for Sisay. Oh, we have an attack. Where is it going? Going off into Anowon. Alright, Anowon's going to take 1. So this is a Constellation card, so it could still be Shrines. Whenever enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a land card from among them, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Looks like Sisay's done for now. We get Black Market. Yay mana, I guess, but we still aren't playing anything. Let's go ahead and pass it off to our opponents. Bitter Blossom creates its Fairy Rogue creature token for the Anowon player, and I'll stop saying that until it's destroyed and or removed. Anowon is something I might consider building at some point if I want something a little bit lower. I always like the mill as a strategy, but there's just no good way to employ it. A morph creature coming down for the Anowon player. Sorry. That's interesting. Over to the Xenagos turn. See what they do with it. I imagine there'll be some form of ramping on their turn. Maybe a Cultivate, maybe a Kodama's Reach. Blighted Woodland into play for them. I tend to put that in everything that has green regardless. Bright Hearth Banneret, another elemental, also a warrior. So it says elemental spells and warrior spells cost 1 less to cast. Interesting. Smoke Braider. That is a mana dark for only elementals. It's got to be an elemental deck then. Also, I love the art on that. Just look how pretty that is. That must have looked great in foil back in the day. Over to Sisay's turn. A forest into play for them. Banishing Light coming down for Sisay after a forest drop. What will it be targeting? That's the question. I imagine Smoke Braider. But they have, so they'll have 6 mana next turn plus a cost reduction for elementals. That's interesting. Constellation will trigger for the Nissian Wanderer. Banishing Light is targeting the Ingus. Alright. So that makes sense if they want to do a lot of ramping. Farseed coming out for the Sisay player. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see what they get with it. It has to be a non-forest, technically. Plains into play for them, tapped. Alright, rolls over to our turn. Please be a red source. Please. And it's Butcher of Malakir. Ooh, okay. Let's go ahead and play the Bonder's Enclave and pass it off to our opponents. Over to Anowon. Ink Fathom Infiltrator coming down for the rogue player. Yep, makes sense to me. Anowon to the attack step. Where are they sending their one fairy rogue? It's off into Xenagos. Damage is good. Desert of the Indomitable into play. Okay, that's something else I didn't expect. Although, I do like the take on it so far. Ruin in their wake. Devoid, search your library for a basic land card and reveal it. You may put that card into the battlefield tapped if you control a land named Waste. Otherwise, put that card in your hand, then shuffle your library. Alright, interesting. Wonder if this is a budget build of Xenagos. That would be interesting to know. Alright, that's it. Off to the Sisay player, who is doing fairly well at setting up so far. So, I wonder if it is, again, another Shrine deck. So far, everyone I've played have just been kind of, not great, but they are getting increasingly better as I run into them. Trace of Abundance, back from Allure. Is this Allure Reborn? Or, yeah, that's Allure Reborn. I think every card in that particular part of the set was gold. Constellation will trigger off the Wanderer. Seal of Cleansing coming down. Alright, well, at least we don't have to worry about that. Unless we get a Mana Rock and they really don't like us. Wanderer will trigger again. Seal of Cleansing destroying the Bitter Blossom. I thought that'd be the target. They don't want to blow up their own stuff after all. Sisay coming down for that player. Next turn, tour something out. Could be a bunch of shrines. Comes our turn. Oh, red source. Now we just need a second one. Come on, deck. Don't let me down. Alright, still nothing we can really play. I mean, I guess we can play Black Market and try to bait out some removal or something. It'll give us extra mana to summon Butcher, I guess, or our commander. Alright, it resolves. Let's pass it off to our opponents. Over to Anowon. Let's see what they do. 5 cards in hand, 37 life. Land in play. 4 cards in hand now. It's a swamp. Anowon on the attack. We have the Infiltrator going off into the Sisay player. Morph off into the Xenagos. And the Fairy Rogues are coming at our face. Alright, well, at least they're spraying it around. Can't be angry about that. Nothing to do. And we'll take 2. Oh, looks like we may have a response to no blocks. We have a morph, Raven Guildmaster. When it just comes down to play, that player exiles the top 10 cards of the library. I'm so glad that wasn't us. So glad. So Xenagos is going to exile the top 10. Oof. Let's see. Fire's Green Warden. Oh, is this the new one? No, it's the old one. Okay. Tornado Elemental, Omnath. The angry one, anyway. Mana Reflection. Mana Reflection. How rude. I'm glad that's gone. So, just for reference, it is a Wizard Mutant, not a Rogue, but that will work. Xenagos, God of Revels coming down. Or I guess I should say Xenagos. 2 combat, we have a trigger. I don't think they're going to be going anywhere necessarily, but I guess they could do some retaliation against Anowon. That's it for Xenagos. Over to Sisay's turn. They could activate her, but it has to be something that costs 1. I guess it could be like a Moxen of some kind. Well, the legendary ones anyway. Sisay is being activated. Let's see what they get. I'm interested in seeing. Sanctum of Tranquil Light into play. Ah, I thought that cost 2. Okay, so that'll work out. Now I can go get one that costs 2. Reprobation. I haven't seen that in a while. So if you can't afford, was it Darksteel Mutation? This is perfectly serviceable. Nissan Wonder will trigger again. That's it for Sisay. Let's roll over to our turn. Black Market will trigger. We get Felwar Stone. That will be nice. We will get no extra mana from the Black Market, though. Alright, let's go ahead and play the Felwar Stone. Some mana fixing keeping us in the game, if only barely. And because we do have red from our opponents, let's go ahead and get Jessica down. That will give us a cost reduction on our commander because she is a warrior. Just for reference, it's Human Barbarian Warrior. I guess they changed it if that's not the original text. Not sure how that went down. Jessica into play. Let's pass it off to our opponents. Well, no. Do we want to hit Sisay? I think we do. Let's go ahead and attack Sisay with it. If they block with anything, we have first strike. No blocks out of Sisay. They take the 3. Now let's pass it off to our opponents. I didn't think they would, but on the off chance I could get rid of something, sure. Over to Anowon the Rune Sage. I just like saying his name. It's very nice. Also, I love this art much better than the last art. It does look kind of, I don't know, out of focus or grainy. So I don't know if it's the best scan or import ever. Anowon the Rune Thief coming down. In the story, he seemed like he was trying to turn himself around, but the Rune Thief is a little bit interesting. 2 combat. Let's see if they send their rogues anywhere. Alright, we have the Infiltrator off into Sisay, 1 token each coming at us and the Xenagos player. Alright, so still spreading it around, although that, works a lot better with their commander anyway. So when they deal combat damage to a player, we mill 1 card for each 1 damage dealt to us, and if that player mills at least 1 creature this way, they draw a card. So, they don't draw cards for every creature, but it is card advantage if you can hit somebody, and rogues tend to be slippery and unblockable. Alright, damage is good everywhere. 3 triggers from Anowon the Rune Thief. So each of us will be milling 2 cards, except for the Sisay player, who will be milling 3. And then we get to see what we mill, I suppose. At least they can't randomly also steal it, even though he is a Rune Thief. We lose Daggercaster. Oh, that's too bad. And Ingress Marauder, which is actually something I might change out of this deck. It seems to be a little expensive for what I want to be doing. Otherwise, let's see. Heroic Intervention, Evolving Wilds. Okay, cast out in Utopia, or Urban Utopia. Slitherblade, Naga Rogue, it can't be blocked. Nice. Alright, that is it for Anowon. Over to Xenagos' turn. Let's see what they do. They still have, what is this, 7 potential mana plus a discount on an elemental. And they haven't played much. It's 5 cards in hand for them currently. Thicket Elemental coming down for them. It was kicked. So when there's a battlefield, if it was kicked, you may reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. If you do, put that card into the battlefield and shuffle all other cards revealed this way into your library. Alright, so 2 for 1. That's not terrible. Incandescent Soulstoke. So this is another one of those kind of like sneak attack abilities, but only for elementals. It also taps, which means it's a much more fair version of the ability. But it was very good back in the day. I remember it being very expensive. 2 combat Xenagos will trigger. Thicket Elemental will be getting to be a 10/10 with haste. I really hope that's not coming at us for any reason. Thicket Elemental attacking Anowon the Rune Sage. Yeah, I guess the retaliation was there. They did not like that they got milled. They're going to block with the Coward. There you go, and it's not a warrior. I guess our Jessica would be able to get past it, though. Let me see, what does the enchantment do? Okay, no, we don't have the ability to get past Cowards. That's unfortunate. Hey, we get a counter on Black Market. Nice. Red Elemental Blast, destroy target blue permanent. So Anowon the Rune Sage, going back to the command zone. The death trigger does happen, though, with those new rules that came out, what, last set ago? I forget. So, Black Market gets a second counter. Over Sisay's turn, a swamp into play for them. Sisay being activated. Let's see what shrine they get this time. Nissan Wonder will trigger. The shrine? Sanctum of Stone Fangs. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. So, we do have a turn until that starts affecting us. 2 shrines currently, but Sisay keeps getting bigger. Rolls over to us, we get Command Tower, nice. Black Market will trigger for us, giving us 2 free black mana. Let's go ahead and play that Command Tower. Definitely want to get that down. And then, let's see, our commander should only cost 5, so let's go ahead and do that. Cast our commander. That way, all of our guys will have Death Touch. point and ping, and dead we do. And then, just for good measure, let's go ahead and play the Volshock Sorcerer. Seems like it could be good. She has haste as well, so that way we can threaten some more removal. And let's pass it off to our opponents. I don't want to attack anywhere. I don't want to kill anything yet. Want to wait to see what they do. Sisay is becoming a little bit worrisome. Over to Anowon's turn. So Anowon did die last time, so it does cost 2 more. There's a swamp into play for them, so if they want to resummon Anowon, they can. But let's see what they do with it. 6 mana is a nice nifty number to have. Alright, we do have combat from Anowon. Let's see where all this stuff is going. All of it at the Xenagos player. Alright, so 2 of them can't be walked and 2 of them at flying, so they will be taking 5 damage. Problem is, there is a Prowl card that can give them an extra turn. I don't think we really have to worry about it right now, so I'm not going to ping anything down. Damage is good. No effects happen otherwise. Let's see if they do anything in the second main. There it is, Notorious Throng, Prowl. Create X/1/1 Black Fairy Rogue creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of damage dealt to your opponents this turn. And if you pay the Prowl cost, you get an extra turn. There it is. In case you didn't know, I'm sure everyone does by now, but that has a lot of fairies. Alright, second turn for Anowon. I do hate extra turn spells, but at least that one is something you have to risk. You have to get in there, and you have to attack with a rogue. Bident of Thassa. Wow, that is a good one. Nice. It's also one of my favorite blue cards. I know people don't generally like it. Like, there's better stuff, but if you're attacking with creatures, yeah, use the Pokey Fork of Destiny. Over to Sisay for a response. Looks like Omen of the Hunt, Flash. There's a battlefield, search the library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, and shuffle. Now, Rampant Growth does this, right? At 2, but this has Flash, and you can sacrifice it to scry 2. This is a perfectly serviceable card. Into play, all the triggers happen as they do. Alright, to Anowon's second turn, second combat. Well, first combat in the second turn. Yeah, that's more accurate. Let's see where they're all going this time. Alright, so unfortunately, we are taking everything. That's unfortunate. I wanted to really kill Sisay, but I guess we're just going to have to at least take down one of the pingers. So let's go ahead and do that. Ping down the Infiltrator in response, and then we'll go to blocks and block a fairy. Black Market will trigger. Jessica, usually better on the defense with the first strike, but both of the ones she could have blocked unblockable, so that was unfortunate. Alright, let's go to blocks. Alright, we block a fairy, kill it. We do take a punch of damage 5, though. They do get to draw 5 cards, which is really good. Black Market will trigger again. Drowned Catacombs into play for the Anowon player, followed by Earwig Squad. That just sounds nasty. So, Prowl again. When they enter the battlefield, its Prowl cost is paid. Target player, search target player's library for 3 cards and exile them. Then that player shuffles the library. Ooh, that's pretty nasty. Off into the Sisay player. Yeah, probably going to attack the shrines. I can deal with that. They do all shrines. Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest, I believe. Yes. Sanctum of the Calm Waters and the Sanctum of All. Over to Xenagos' turn. 4 cards in hand for them after the draw. Last time they attacked, they forgot Xenagos doesn't give trample, and frankly, that is a mistake I've made in the past. So let's see if they can find some trample. Grow from the Ashes, it was kicked. They get to search for 2 basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield. It makes me wonder what they're ramping into. They already have a Madrock that does 2, plus 1 that can just put on the battlefield for 3, plus cost reduction by 1. Incandescent Soulstoke is being activated. Let's see what comes out of their hand. Leech of the Tangle. So this thing can make your lands into creatures and they're permanent. So yeah, as long as they have that awaken counter, there you go. Alright, they're going to combat. Xenagos will trigger Leech of the Tangle, getting the haste. It already has the trample. Where is it going to go though? That's the question. If it comes to us, I gotta kill it, no question. If it doesn't go at us, do I want them to have lands that are 8/8s? Here's the attack. It's off into the Anowon player. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They have a little feud going on right now. Xenagos off into us. Do I want to kill the Leech of the Tangle in response? Yeah, I guess I do, since the other person took care of the Sisay player and their better shrines, I guess. And Xenagos quits the game. I really... Sorry, irks me a little bit. To Sisay's turn, Sanctum of Fangs will trigger. They have 2 shrines in play. We will lose 2 life. Fertile Ground into play, Enchanting Forest. Even more ramp. I mean, when you can activate Sisay without a tap cost, there should always be a tap cost, wizards. It's pretty good. Golos, Thrasios, looking at all you people. Sisay being activated. I imagine it's another shrine. Yeah, one of the originals, by the way. Odin of Infinite Rage. At the beginning of your upkeep, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of shrines you control. Is a bit on the weaker side since it's not like each opponent, which is probably what it would be these days, or, you know, each opponent or something they control or something like that. But it's free damage. Also, that means our pingers are in a kind of a devastating spot, and we need some mass removal to take care of those rogues. That's it for Sisay. That means it's going to roll over to us. We're going to get a bunch of free mana. Can we do anything with it? We draw Duskfang Mentor. Okay, that's not terrible. I think let's go ahead and play Kimono Master Yamabushi. I think that will be good for us, and then we can just ping something, get it out of the way, activate Kimono, target the really big rogue. I didn't even know they got to be 5/3s. Kill it. It did get exiled, so it did not trigger Black Market. That's the nice thing about Kimono. And I guess we'll also cast the Duskfang Mentor. Seems good. It will unfortunately put the lifelink counter on our commander, so not much of a choice there, but lifelink is lifelink. Let's go ahead and attack into the rogue player. They'll block with a fairy most likely, but we gain 4 life out of it, which is what I want. Oh, no, they just take it. Alright, that's fine. 4 commander to them, we gain 4 life. Let's pass it off. Anowon's turn, 8 cards in hand. Bident of Thassa doing the work. Thieves Guild Enforcer, it is a rogue. Ooh, that's a lot of small text. Let's zoom in, shall we? Flash, when it or another rogue enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 2 cards. Nice. As long as your opponent has 8 or more cards in the graveyard, it gets 2/1, and Death Touch. Yeah, that'll work. So we have to mill. That's unfortunate. We mill Animate Dead and a Snow-Covered Mountain. Animate Dead would have been nice. Daggercaster would have been stupid amazing. Castle Vantress into play for the rogue player. Let's see, what did they mill? Crystal Chimes and Hodin of Night's Reach. Merfolk Wind Robber coming down for them. When it deals commander to play that or mills a card, sacrifice it, draw a card. What do I want? Do I care about the milling is the problem. I do care about them having a lot of creatures. That kind of makes me a little bit wary. So let's go ahead and target the Thieves Guild Enforcer and get rid of that. We have a response out of Sisay after us. Alright, they're just sacrificing Omen of the Hunt. They will scry too. Thieves Guild Enforcer is down. Went to the graveyard this time because it's not Kimono. We get another counter on Black Market. Anowon player off to the attack steps. Let's see what happens. Yeah, everything at us. Man, how rude. Alright, well, I just really want to kill Sisay, so I guess I'm just taking it. That's 7 more damage. There are the triggers. We're down to 26. Second main for Anowon. Wayfarer's Bauble coming down for them. It finally got reprinting on the list. Yay! I guess. At least they'll be out there. Talisman of Dominance coming down for them as well. Sig River Cutthroat. That's going to be even more card draw for him. It is a rogue. Shadowmoor, I believe? Yeah, Shadowmoor. To the end step, Sig will trigger. They will draw another card. They will also have to discard 3 of their cards, because they do not have a Reliquary Tower or some such other thing. Let's see what they discard. To Sisay's turn, Hodin of Infinite Rage will trigger. 3 damage going somewhere. Let's see where it goes. It's going to go over to Sig. That's fine with me. And now we're going to ping Sisay in the face and kill it. I just wanted to make sure Jessica didn't die. So, Sisay to the ping. Let's see if they activate Sisay in response. Nope. Straight to the graveyard. We get a Black Market trigger. To the pre-combat main phase. Sanctum of the Fangs triggers. Stone Fangs, sorry. So, we lost 2 life again. It's not the best. 5 cards in hand for Sisay after the draw, by the way. 35 life. We're sitting at 23 with 2 cards in hand. The rogue player Anowon is sitting at 27 life and 7 cards in hand. Eerie Ultimatum coming out for Sisay. Alright, return a number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, in EDH, that is everything you have that's a permanent. So let's see. A lot of enchantments. There's going to be a lot of triggers there. 1 Hodin, though. The others were exiled. Oh, we have a counter spell. Choose one counter target spell with convert mana cost less than or equal to the number of cards in controller's graveyard. Nice. That works out very well for me. Good thing they didn't leave Sisay in the graveyard. That would have been a little bit awkward. Hodin of Seeing Winds coming down for the Sisay player. At the beginning of their upkeep, they draw a card for each shrine they control. That's going to be very good. Unfortunately, we still don't have Chaos Warp or Feed the Swarm. That's it for Sisay. Going to roll over to us. Let's see what happens. We get Glaring Spotlight. Alright, so we can target stuff as though it didn't have hexproof. We don't really need that right now. Black Market will trigger and give us 7 free black mana. At that point, we just cast Butcher of Malakir for free. Okay, and then I think we just get pinging on the rogue guy because I don't like my stuff being, you know, I don't like being hit in the face with so many rogues and stuff. Alright, they'll sacrifice a draw card. We get another counter on black market. Unfortunately, that robs us of the ability. Oh well. And then we'll kill / exile a token because that matters. Let's go ahead and go to combat. And we will send Kimono, the Duskfang Mentor, and Zagras off into the Anowon player. Alright, they are at 8 commander and down to 18. Second main phase, let's go ahead and cast the Glaring Spotlight. And let's pass it off to our opponents. Anowon's turn, 8 cards in hand, 5 rogues still remaining. Bident of Thassa going to keep doing the work, unfortunately for us. They're going straight to combat. I imagine all the rogues are coming at us. Even if they're going at Sisay, I think I'm still going to ping too. We need to limit their card advantage. Nope, still all at us. Sad face. So we can block 1, kill 2. They only get 2 through. Assuming they don't have like a Psych Rift coming down the pipe here. So let's go ahead and target their stuff. Alright, let's go to blocks. 2 rogues down. We got 2 more counters on black market. We'll use the Butcher to block another one. And that means they only get to draw 2 cards. They will be at 10 cards though, and that's a lot. Alright, we have a number of triggers. We get yet another counter on black market. Bident of Thassa will trigger twice for the Anowon player, drawing them 2 cards. Second main for Anowon. Consuming Aberration coming down. Mill Lord Extraordinaire. Alright, so we can't kill it just now, but they are going to cast a bunch of stuff and mill us. Hopefully into something besides lands or mana at this point, I suppose. Thada Adel Inquisitor. So, my friend had a deck with Thada Adel at the helm. Is a rogue, by the way. And I bought Hammerheim just to counteract that deck. It's a land. It's a legendary land, by the way. Taps for red or taps to take away landlock ability because I had it in my Felden deck and I liked my artifacts where they were. Oh, Milled Inferno Titan. No, I wanted to play that. Never get to play Inferno Titan. Alright, over to Sisay's turn. Hodens are going to trigger, and then the Sanctums are going to trigger. Well, not the white one, it gets the tap stuff, so not the best. But they're going to draw a bunch of cards, which will be 4. So, pretty good. And then Hoden of Infinite Rage will deal 4 damage to something. Hopefully not our guy, but we did kill their commander, so... Yeah, Butcher of Malakir is going to go. That's unfortunate. But if it had to be any other target, only Duskfang Mentor would have been better. Put the triggers onto the stack. We get yet more mana that we can't do anything with. And Butcher of Malakir will trigger. Each of our opponents will have to sacrifice a creature. Black market, do I even have to say it anymore at this point? We get 2 more counters. Sanctum of Stone Fangs on the first pre-combat main phase. I don't know why I keep saying first, but we do lose 2 life. After the draw 7 cards in hand for the Sisay player, they're at 39 life. We're definitely going to have to start laying into them soon, but the rogue guy needs to leave us alone for us to do that. Don't know why they're not attacking the Sisay player, but I don't know. But we gotta deal with both problems regardless. Doomwake Giant coming out for them. That's not going to be good for us at all. It's going to wipe out a lot of our guys, starting with our pingers, unfortunately. Which means we are going to lose a lot of removal. There's the trigger. Goodbye to our pingy friends. That is unfortunate. Black market. It's triggering. That is a lot of mana getting set up over there on Sisay's side. So far we're at 10 mana? I wonder what's happening. Dance of the Mans. Alright. So, equals 5. Return X target artifact and or non-or enchantment cards with the converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If X is 6 or more, those permanents become 4/4 creatures. So yeah, at least we limited them to not making them creatures. But there goes our whole board with Consuming Aberration ready to kill us next turn. Yeah, I thought something like that was going to happen. I didn't know it'd be Dance of the Mans, but very good play. So, not much to do on the recovery. We'll have tons of mana, but we can resummon our commander and equip Basilisk Caller? That's the best plan we have so far. Cast Out will come into play first. Let's see what they're going to exile. The Consuming Aberration is under Cast Out. That works for me. Saves us, actually. Omen of the Hunt coming down. And then Doomwake will trigger and kill the rest of our guys. Sad face. Doomwake Giant smelling up the board. Everybody ran away. Seal of Cleansing destroying black market. Dang. Alright, guess we're not getting our commander back much either. Crystal Chimes return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, well, there you go. We get a mountain. Okay. So we can resummon our commander, and that's about it. And then hopefully it'll stick around, and we can draw some cards off the Bonder's Enclave there. That's all we got. I doubt it's going to live, though. It'll probably just die to a bunch of other Doomwake triggers. Moving to the beginning of combat, Anowon player sacrifices the Wayfarer's Bauble to go get a land. Well, that's fine. They do have 7 cards in hand, much easier for them to recover. Unfortunately, we just can't seem to hit any of our card draw either. I don't know what the algorithm is doing to me these days. Let's go ahead and attack the Sisay player, get in the damage while we can. Damage is good. Let's pass it off. Unfortunately, the only player who could have dealt with all those shrines would have been Xenagos, but they had quit in response to us targeting the Liege of the Tangle. Had they not attacked us with Xenagos, I might have just spared it, but I didn't need us taking 6 on top of them animating all of their lands. Una, Queen of the Fae, coming down. Fairy Wizard, by the way, but she does make rogues. That's the end of the Anowon player's turn. Let's move it over to Sisay. We have a number of Hodens coming. I imagine Infinite Rage is going to kill our commander, and then we're just kind of dead in the water here. That will be unfortunate. Yep, it's going to get burned for a bunch. Alright, we'll move it back to the command zone. It now costs 10 without cost reduction. Anowon being targeted with Hoden of Knight's Reese. They will discard a card for each shrine the Sisay player controls. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they get to pick 1 to keep, basically. There it is. Let's see what they discarded. Ooh, Lazav's pretty good. Nighthawk. Command Beacon, Rogue's Passage, Island. They do have Una on the field, and it is mana sink with its X ability. So it's not terrible that they had to discard all that, but it is still pretty bad. A Giant's Chosen coming down for the Sisay player. Cares about enchantments to make a little bit of token goodness. Urban Utopia coming down for the Sisay player, enchanting a land. Wasn't that an exile or the graveyard? Oh yeah, I forgot. Dance of the Mans and Crystal Chimes. But of course, Doomwake Giant will do some more triggering. A Giant's Chosen makes a cat. Sigil of the Empty Throne. Another token maker, good backup to a lot of commanders. It makes angels instead of cats. Hoden of Cleansing Fire coming down. So, is this one that also deals... Okay, they gain 2 life for each shrine they control. Things have become out of hand. So, this is the Sisay Shrine deck, they say. Interesting. I am starting to see why people don't like it. Unfortunately, I just am running a deck that does not have the colors to deal with this. And I think that might be a thing. So, in comparison to Shrines and Planeswalkers, at least Planeswalkers you can attack. So, I guess there's that, and there's a lot of Planeswalker removal. Only white and green and now black have enchantment removal, so I can see why people get a little bit upset. Still an interesting deck, though. Reappropriation. Oh no, Una's going to be a coward with no abilities. Also, randomly, it might just die. Although it looks like Sisay's out of mana. We have a response. Looks like an activation out for the Una. Yep, there it is. Target opponent exiles the top cards of the X tops cards of the library. X is 5. Each card for the chosen card exiled this way. Create a 1/1 blue and black fairy rogue creature token with flying. They get 3 tokens. Looks like they picked green for that one. Hoden of Life's Web also being exiled. So that'll be nice. They don't need any more tokens. Reprobation going on to Una. It will be a coward. And it dies. Sadness. Although, I'm not sure how that happened. I thought it was a 2/2 at that point. Oh, right. It became a 0/1. And there go the fairy tokens. Sisay, looks like they have this game all wrapped up. Sisay on the attack. Doomwake coming at us. Yeah, I kind of figured. Nothing to do about it. Damage will be good. Alright, that's it. Going to roll over to let's see what we get. Alright, Anowon quits the game. I don't blame him. Looks like it's pretty much over. Sisay does have to do some cleanup. They have 8 cards in hand. Let's see what they discard. Evolving Wilds. We get a snow-covered mountain. That's not terribly helpful. I guess at this point, we'll just go ahead and play our Basilisk Collar and roll it off to our opponents and let them have it. So, Sisay Shrines. Yeah, it can be very strong. You definitely need a lot of enchantment removal. And so, they are a little bit harder to interact with Planeswalkers. Or than Planeswalkers. So, I can see what the hubbub's about. It is slow, though. Unless you have a lot of the ramp and you get left alone, like we made the mistake of doing. Sisay's turn. All the Hoden stuff will trigger. Yep, we'll discard 8 cards. Go ahead and do that for them. Hoden's going to deal how much to us? 6? Okay, sorry. 6 shrines in play. My bad. That means they're going to gain 12 life on the upkeep. And then we have all the sanctums to go through, too. And we lose 6 life. They win the game. So, nice build. I'm interested in it. I mean, I always want an Obzon enchantment commander, so that's a thing. I was thinking maybe Kethis since the shrines are legendary, but I don't know. The blue one's pretty good. Good game to our opponent. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Okay, here's the deck. So, unfortunately, didn't get much in the way of card draw. Frankly, we don't have too much. We do have some of the one-goes, like Psalm Simulacrum when it dies. Other than that, we do have Phyrexian Arena, and we do have a couple wheeling effects, Dragon Mage, then we have the Magus of the Wheel, stuff like that. So not too much of the drawing effects. We also got, well, not Feed the Swarm or Chaos Warp. On the bright side, the pingers worked out wonderfully. We were just really overcome by going wide again, so that is a problem. I don't know how to solve that. We have a lot of mass removal. Didn't really get any of it. But, yeah, we just got played by sheer value. Do need to add some card draw to the deck. Don't know what I'd take out for it, though, so I'll work on that and see if I can do anything. Hopefully by next game I can figure something out. If not, well, we'll just keep it as how it is and see. As for the cards in the deck, Black Market, it performed well, but it how do I put it? It only gives mana? Is that not good enough? You could ask that, right? But yeah, it was great when I had stuff to cast, but not when I had stuff to cast. I'd probably take that out for some card draw. I would also probably take out maybe some other stuff. Mayhem Devil doesn't really do anything for us down here. It's only when we sacrifice something, and we don't really do that. Other players can sacrifice stuff, which would be great, but if they can sacrifice stuff, we can't ping it anyway, so that might be something we want to do. You can put some combos in this deck. I do have Murderous Redcap, but there's no combo for it in here. Deathbringer Thoctor plus our commander and Goblin Sharpshooter plus our commander do infinitely ping the board and kill anything on it. They do, however, not kill our opponents, so that is something to consider. We also didn't get to cast Inferno Titan. Anyway, there's the deck. Hope you enjoyed the game. So, if you saw any cards you liked in the video that you want for your paper collection, sealed, procced, or sleeves to protect your paper collection or your decks, please consider using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. Helps out the channel, doesn't cost you anything extra, and it'll help us produce better decks, expand the collection, produce extra content in the future. Looking forward to that. Want to do some more card comparisons and reviews in the future, especially if there's some, new thing in the color pie like Feed the Swarm. And for those of you who tuned into Durdle Magic today, I'll see you on the next part of the series for Zagras Thief of Heartbeats. Thank you for coming to Durdle with us today. Hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that notification bell so you're always up to date with our latest videos. Please leave a like and share the video with somebody who you might think is interested. We also post links to our videos on Facebook and Twitter at DurdleMTG. If those are the forums you choose to use, please check us out there. Until we can Durdle with some magic again, see you around.